Hello everyone, Brent Schneider here again. Today is our first lesson and it is how to properly open a bottle of wine. Now the neat thing about opening a bottle of wine is you have to learn a little bit about the anatomy of a wine bottle because there's a real trick to this. And what happens is most people do it incorrectly. They open the bottle wrong, they mess up everything, they go through and they open it the wrong way. But we're going to go through, because there's a difference for the shape for each one of the wine bottles, why they're shaped this way, and we'll talk about red versus white versus everything else. Now the other thing I just want you to know is this is not the lesson on how to open the bottle of wine. This is just so I can have a glass of wine so I can share with you guys how to do it the proper way. So let's get started. Terrific. Okay, first thing, bottle of wine anatomy. This white bottle of wine, this is a red bottle of wine. Now you'll notice that this part right here is a little different. There's a reason for that. So here's the anatomy lesson. This first top part is called the lip of the wine. This is called the neck of the wine. The shoulders, more pronounced in the red. And then the body of the bottle, and then the bottom part is actually called the punt, the indentation in the very bottom. And there's a reason for that. And so basically we're going to go through and how to open the wine. There are different shapes for champagne, for example, more like a white. And the reason is over time when you squeeze grapes, it comes out. Red wine comes from the skins, and the longer you leave the skins, the darker the wine gets. But at the very end of the day, what happens is this shoulder is there to collect the last 2/3 to 3/4 of an ounce of wine as you pour it out. That is not how you empty the bottle of wine. For red wine, that sediment is going to collect on that shoulder. So let's go through, and the first thing we're going to have is a corkscrew. So get this at Walmart. Corkscrew is about $3. Very nice, very easy, very simple. It has a little knife in it and it has a little hinge, and this is actually a 3-turn anatomy of a corkscrew: knife, the opener, and then the worm. Okay? Now this is a 3-turn. This is a super cheap one for $2 at Walmart. You can go super fancy and they have a 4-turn worm like this, as well as an adjuster, so you can actually do 2 different called steps as you come up from there with the knife. Or you can go to Napa Valley and get this super nice one, have a whole lot to drink at the tasting room, and they convince you that you should buy a $50 wine corkscrew from this company, BV. And they have a great one. This is one that you can take down, somebody with a bear, and it's a 4-turn worm, but even though it's really fancy, nice, wooden handles, super soft, these are too close together and it's a terrible wine opener. So I have the one that I have probably opened 10,000 bottles of wine with in 15 years of doing this. And this is just a $4 one from Kroger. So you can get this anywhere. I do have my favorite one now because it has some really nice wood on it. So we're going to go through and show you the proper way. So what I like to do is open it up all the way so you get the most amount. Now most people, when they try to open a bottle of wine, they'll hold it this way so you can see it. They take the end of the knife and they hold it like this, and they end up ripping the foil and the capsule all the way around. You don't want to do that. So what I want you to do is I hold it in my hand like this with my thumb, almost like this is my pincer, and I'm going to take just the tip of there. Please don't have any jokes. But you can go at the top of the lip, or you can go at the bottom of the lip. So what we're going to do is we're going to go at the bottom of the lip and hold it at a point right across there. And we're going to twist the wine corkscrew all the way around and twist it all the way like that. You're going to score it. Then you take the knife and pull upwards. You should have a nice, clean, perfect line like that. Not maybe as clean on the first one. We can try it again. So then, you guys can see that around there. All right. And so then we're going to take this. Now the neat thing about the worm is it's actually on the side. It's a screw. If you see some of those, they look like your cheerleader. Those are in the very center, and it'll actually break down in the very center with the screw and rip up the cork. So they're not very good wine openers. What we want to do is use this and think of the screw on the side. So if you screw it in the very center, it's going to be offset. So you offset it just slightly, just there, and as you twist in, then it's going to be perfectly straight. So we're going to twist in our 5-turn worms going all the way around. And then what we want to do is very carefully, and if you have one that has the lever on it, twist up and pull. Now the neat thing is I want you to think of this is how people break corks, is they twist on this and they yank this over. So you're going like this, and you break it because you're pulling on it. You see the angle of that? It's going to break. So what we want to do is think of this as a piston. You're trying to get it straight up and down. So when you're pulling on the cork, pull this way at a 45-degree angle, and that lever action will actually pull it all the way up and out very smoothly, and stop right there. Now, what you don't want is to make a sound. You want to make sure that you actually pull in and very slowly pull it out like that, and the corkscrew will come out. Okay? So now we have our open bottles of wine. We've come over, and then the server is going to present the cork to you. What do you do with it? So I have no idea. People smell it. Don't smell the cork. Cork has a smell. Now in our next episode, what we're going to do is we're going to go over all of the different versions of cork, why they're important, and how what you do with the cork and the difference in aging and cost and things like that. Now the server is going to come up and they're going to go in and take the bottle and pour you just a little bit. You never want to touch the bottle to the glass, but the neat thing is, you see I didn't make a drip everywhere, but you take it, pour, and make like a little J. Make a J when you twist, and it'll actually not spill all over the table. But a lot of times you'll see the sommeliers have a little napkin on their arm, and they'll make sure that if they do spill, that they'll do that. So that is how you open a bottle of wine. Now, there are other ones. The really hard ones are the Stelvin screw caps. There you go. That's how you open a bottle of wine with a screw cap. Those are a little easy. But once again, white wines, shape of the bottle, because there's no red and sediment in there. They don't need the shoulders, but the red wines do. So that is how you properly open a bottle of wine. Thank you, and can't wait to see you for the next episode.